Let's shift to a lighter topic, something that's a little more fun. White supremacy. Let's touch on this one a little. We might not be here long. I just find it silly anytime I see someone who's a white supremacist, whether they're wearing the hood in the KKK or they're marching and chanting how great and pure and perfect they are. And I just kind of giggle at them sometimes and go, you have no idea how much West African, North African, Neanderthal is running through your DNA. And the rest of us are just kind of off to the side going, what are you proud of exactly? Like, what's so great about it? So I wanted to open the discussion briefly about just, obviously it comes from ignorance, but where do you think this idea, other than the missing the facts, of white supremacy comes from? Where are these guys getting this information that they're special?
Well, I can't answer that, but it's interesting. The genetic evidence for our purposes, cut the right way in the last few years. I think it was about 5 years ago where they did the genome, the Neanderthal genome, and it was found that the only people on Earth who are 100% Homo sapiens are Africans,
right.
Sub-Saharan Africans. Everyone else was, your grandma was raped by Neanderthals or raped a Neanderthal. So you're part
not often the word rape gets a laugh twice in a row. I just want to say it's very, very well placed there, Sam.
So that was really delightful, but it's useful to point out though that it could have been the other way, right? And that would be a taboo thing to be pointed out, right. In terms of political correctness. But yeah, that was fantastic.
But I have an opening invitation for any white supremacist who wants to come on Dogma Debate. We will pay for a DNA test to prove your purity, and we'll see how it works out. I would love to do that. But it's got to be the way they're raised, right? It's got to be that you're very, very special. You're perfect. See your beautiful white skin. It's all perfect, and they just grow up with all this ignorance of the data, right?
Well, yeah. Clearly, it is what you teach kids. I mean, everyone who's a parent in this room just needs to think for a moment of what it's like to be in the presence of a child who knows nothing, right? And you're in this position of filling their head with a worldview. And if you're a rational parent who has the interests of your child at heart, well, then you're just telling them, the appropriate facts as more or less as fast as you can. But it just, and again, I'm speaking to someone who did not have a childhood of religious indoctrination, but I can only imagine what it was like to hear from your parents, the most authoritative authorities that exist for the longest period of time, from the moment you could understand human speech, to be hearing about hell and about the fact that you would go there if you didn't believe in Jesus, or you didn't believe that the Quran was the perfect word. And I mean, I hear from atheists who can't yet shake the fear of hell. I mean, they've been atheists for 20 years, but there's still part of them that was sufficiently indoctrinated with this that they, again, I don't even know how they process this as a conscious thought, but part of them is still worried that they might wind up in hellfire.
So this idea of being special or being better than other people, it's
another ideology that you can just impart to a kid, and there's no mystery as to why they would believe it when they turn 10, if that's what you have been telling them for 10 years.
Again, facts, I guess, are going to be the best ammunition against that. Just continuing to teach about, and I've seen there's some show where a guy went on and did he's a white supremacist, and he went on and did a DNA test. And when they showed him the results, he was like 14% West African or something. It was a much higher percentage than many other whites. And he just denied the results. He was just like, yeah.
Well, there
wonder who put that out there.
There were Nazis in Germany and during the war who at a certain point found out that they were Jewish. That's a rather gorgeous revelation. But you're always vulnerable if you think. I mean, this comes down to what's wrong with identity politics. Really, if you think that the goodness of a certain principle. You know, if you want to organize society with respect to things like justice and fairness, and the lens through which you are judging the rightness of any principle is your identity with a certain tribe, right? That's it. At a minimum, you're vulnerable to discovering that you're actually not in that tribe, right? Which is, you know, but the problem with identity politics is that whatever you think is true or good has to be something you could persuade others of, and the only way you could persuade them is, because they are others, is to make an argument that doesn't depend on who you are, right? It's not a I mean, that's what it is to reason with people, and that's what it is to actually have reasons for what you believe. And this is what was so brilliant about the political philosopher John Rawls's thought experiment. I'm sure many of you have heard of Rawls, if not read his books, but he talked about a conception of a just society being something we could all converge on if we reasoned from what he called the original position, or from behind a veil of ignorance. And so this veil of ignorance is, we have all of the facts of science and reality to work with, but we just don't know anything about who we are in the society. You don't know if you're black or white, or man or woman, or tall or short, or whether you have brain damage. I mean, you have no idea how lucky you are or unlucky you are. And so from behind that veil of ignorance, the burden is on you to come up with principles of fairness and justice, which you would agree to before you find out who you are in the society, before you find out that you're rich or you're poor. And to be reasoning in any other way, which is the core of identity politics, is to not do that, and to reason from the point of view as, well, listen, as a white man or as a black woman, I believe X, right? But that's exactly what it is to be biased. That's exactly what it is to have your principles undermined by self-interest. And it's clearly the way forward is to be doing something much more like Rawls suggested.